Another one.
Yes, 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 yes.
Master Sugang. Did somebody just tell you a really good joke? I want to hear. Oh, you can't share it. I think Geshe Michael looks like he heard it too. Something funny going on. We can't hear you guys at all. Is that part of the plan? Is that what's funny? Geshe Michael finally just gave the true meaning of emptiness very quietly. Just kidding.
Hilarious.
You gave it a long time ago, and it's hilarious.
There she is.
There she is.
Oh, there we go. Yay. Oh, yeah.
Hi, so I guess we're getting started.
Seems like a good idea.
Great. So for some of us, this has been 3 days. For others of us, this has been a month. So with regard to the quiz, I wish you all the best.
That sounds pessimistic to me. I don't know.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Are you recording, Seiji? You okay?
Yeah, actually, I want to say something before. Hey, just to make sure, I know Francisco's recording, but it'd be good if you Venerable Pala can record on your machine, just in case. It's always a good insurance policy. We are recording you, Geshe Michael.
Okay.
Just, recording sometimes fails, so.
She's recording.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, I'm
Please go
also
ahead.
recording to my computer.
Yeah, me too.
Yay.
The insurance policies in effect. Okay. So I really tried to make this easy. But here we go. True or false? Sutras have no problem accepting something which is both appearing to a sense consciousness and unable to perform a function.
They have a problem with that. I don't know if it's true or false.
I hope that's false.
It's false, right?
It's true.
Oh no.
Such a thing could appear to a mistaken sense consciousness, but they would have a problem with a thing that couldn't perform a function appearing to an unmistaken sense consciousness.
That's
Sorry,
a-
I started off with a trick.
They're
I'm
not
so
supposed to be drunk.
mean.
They're not supposed to be drunk though. It's a Buddhist school.
That's true. Maybe they don't eat well, so their liver is causing problems.
Uh-oh.
True or false? Mentalists say that something appearing to an unmistaken sense consciousness that is unable to perform a function is an actual object in the way that the logicians use that term.
No.
False. So to whomever said no, you're quite right. So to mentalists, things that cannot perform a function are merely labeled by name and mental image. Logicians use the term actual object or manifest object to refer to things that are able to perform a function. And mentalists can't reconcile something that is both merely labeled by name and mental image and related to cause and effect.
Hmm. Okay, boss.
Sutrists do not accept the fact space is the basis of the label space is a functioning thing. And they do assert that space being the basis of the label space is established due to the very way space is. And if that weren't the case, then it couldn't exist. What error in thinking do mentalists say is going on in the minds of such sutrists?
Is it about unchanging?
Kind of.
It has its own nature.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a problem where they were saying that somehow the relationship between two unchanging things could be changing or real, like the space is an unchanging thing and the name is an unchanging thing, but somehow, and then that means that those two things don't exist by definition, but somehow the relationship between the two does exist by definition, and then that should be a problem.
I'm thinking so. I don't know quite how to say it. I'm trying to get clear because KJ says we need to really get it. So here's where I am right now, which is that mentalists say the consequence of sutrist thinking is that space must be an actual object because they say space is named space by its very nature. Is that anywhere close, Mr. Geshe Michael?
I guess.
Uh-oh.
I think that's okay. Yep.
Well, let's just move on to, when in doubt, move on to vocabulary. Is there a Tibetan phrase for the phrase able to perform a function?
Oh.
Nupa.
Dunje Nupa. Very good.
Yay.
Is there an English equivalent to this phrase? Rangi ne tsu kiwangi.
The power of the way a thing is.
Yeah, due to its very nature.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good vocabulary word. Yep. That's, by the way, is related to tsema for measuring. Okay, just if you want to know.
Due to the measure of a thing.
Yeah, the measure of its thing or something. It's related to tse. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Extremely powerful point.
A Shinto-che? Something like that.
Kind of mix that up a different way. Shinto ne chewa.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good vocabulary word. They're all good vocabulary words.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I'm hoping I get to the light going off at some point with regard to this.
Is that Shel Silverstein?
I'll predict what's going to happen with your text. You're going to hit the middle way section and it's going to be boring for you.
Well, that's not going to happen until next year sometime.
But I'm just saying, you know, once you hit there, it's something you've heard 1,000 times, and so enjoy the different stuff here. Okay.
I am enjoying the confusion.
All right.
Am I committing perjury? I don't know, maybe.
Let me get a big cursor up here. Accessibility, display. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Let's read. You translated these next two sections. Let's take a
Yeah, I
look at
couldn't,
them.
I didn't have time to get to the third, and it was just like making my mind go into the squiggle area of that image.
All right. Okay. Got it. Please read, and then we'll look at your translation.
Okay. Jike chepe drondope ta ngokpe su dinam parik patsam la jitar jukbani.
Yeah. How does one engage in this money? Yeah. Jike shepe drondo be ta gope sudi. Yeah. The way of denying the extreme. Okay. The way of denying the extreme of overestimating, as we've explained it here, right? How does it apply to the mind-only school, right? What cute thing has he done with the name of the mind-only school?
Well, it's also a phrase we've used about like conceptual thought, right?
Yeah, instead
Conceptual
of calling
only?
them samsam, he's called them
Mhm.
nambarikbatam. It's just a cute, he's just being cute, okay? Those who say everything is knowing only rather than mind only, okay? That's all. Okay.
Should we come
So
up with a new name there instead of saying mind only? Should we say
I think so. I think so.
now what do we call them? Conceptualizers only?
You can call him conceptualist, would be all right, or
Okay.
something like that. He's trying to be cute, so you got to be cute with him.
All right.
Okay. All right. So how do they explain? How do you stop drondok? How do you stop overestimating things? Okay. Please read the next section.
Zukne nam kien ki par ki chunam min ki tane dokpe ne tang nam toki shempe shi yimpa de dun tam par drupa kekpana.
Good. First of all, this is a fancy way of saying everything in the universe. Okay. Everything from physical matter. This suk means physical matter, and it does not mean visible form. Yeah.
It does
So
not mean
everything-
visible form. Okay.
Yeah, everything from atomic particles up to omniscience, okay? Chunam, and that's in English, it's just a way of saying everything in the universe. Yeah, all existing thing is fine. Chunam, mingi tani dope nedang. Are they the are they the locus, or are they the thing which is given a name? And are they the thing which is thought of by thought? They want to deny that exists, ultimately speaking. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. In other words, they're not naturally named what they are. How's that? Okay.
Great.
And that seems to be the point in this section, is that the Sutra school and the mind-only school have a difference between how natural they think that names are for what they refer to. And there was an interesting part about the second school believing that there's something that we call empty space, that it's appropriate to give the name empty space to a certain object, and that relationship is okay, and somehow it's even natural. Okay, so even though empty space is what, according to the three divisions of the mind-only school?
It's a kuntak.
Yeah, it's a kuntak. It's just name, exist in name only. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry this next section's so long. Do you want to pick on somebody else, or you want to read it yourself?
If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to plant the seeds to hopefully one day be able to translate it.
All right, go slow.
No problem. Jit che ki ming dang jit che dun dang ming dang drewa la tene jit che dun ki ngo dang ke par du dan de dang de ne tsu ki ngu ne drupa tabur nang ne shempe yi ki tokpa ni Chỉ thar nang wa thar tu shem be dun me be de tar zin be zin tang ma tru pa yang me do. Nham ne sung zin yi me pe nam par rik pa sam la juk par tek de le sung pa tar yin la.
Good. Okay, good.
So it's something in accordance with the way that the summary talks about it.
Yeah, the
That part I
Mahayana,
figured out.
yeah, the Mahayana Sangraha. So whatever this long sentence says, we would expect it to be a mind-only school position. Okay, having been described in one of the great books of the mind-only school. I was trying to date the mind-only school, and it's kind of messy. But here we go. Zhezhi Ming, the
A
name
name which is constitutes a verbal expression.
Yeah, the name which says something about a thing, okay? The name which describes a thing. And then the dun, which is juja by the name.
A meaning that is expressed by the name.
Yeah, here dun means object, okay? The object, the name which is given to the thing, and the thing which is given the name, okay?
Okay.
And he says, he shortens those two to Ming Dun. Ming and Dun, okay? The name and the thing which receives the name, okay? Ming Dun. Are they connected? Do they have a relationship?
They are in agreement.
Is it natural?
Well,
That's
not
a
in the
big
way the
argument.
sutras think about it.
Yeah, and the more opinionated a person is, the more they believe that the connection between the name of a thing and the thing is natural. How's that? Okay. All right. So, then can you use names to describe the essential nature and the qualities of what is given the name? Can you use modifiers on the names that you give objects to describe both the essence of those objects and the characteristics of those objects? Can you? Can you say big cup?
Yes, you can say big cup.
Yeah, you can. You can. So cup is ngowo and kepa is big. Okay, so you can describe a cup-like object as being a cup and as being big. Okay, kepa do. Now, in that case, does the main word cup and does the qualifier big, do they apply to that object? Neitsu kingune? Is it a natural relationship? Do they have to be called cup and do they have to be called big?
According to Master Sangha in Tek De, no.
Yeah, so that relationship, apparently in the third school, that relationship is artificial. And in the second school, that relationship is natural. Maybe, but in either case, it appears to be natural. Okay?
Yeah.
And there is a state of mind that all people have. And as we said, opinionated people might have it more, where they they hanker, or they tend to want to think that that relationship is natural. Okay? Chitana. Now, is there any corresponding object, which means a cup which is naturally big and a cup which is naturally a cup? Does the object of their hankering or the object of their opinionated thinking, does that object exist?
No.
When they think the word cup and the word big should apply naturally to a certain object, according to the mind-only school, does that object even exist?
No.
Yeah, right. And that's why it says here, tar du shembe dun me. There's no such object. The object that you think is there is not there. Okay. Okay, good. Therefore, that kind of focus on the object, zentang, right? thinking of the object that way, as though the word cup and big, the words cup and big applied to it naturally, there is no double negative here, okay?
Right.
There is
There
no
is-
matrupa.
Right.
Go
It's
ahead.
not at all unmistaken.
Yeah, there's no version of that which is unmistaken, which means all of that kind of thinking that the word cup and the word big could apply to an object naturally. Those kinds of thoughts are all not unmistaken. Okay. Nyamne. Now, Sung Zin Yi Me. Tricky, this is a tricky word here. Okay.
Subject,
Who
the
believes
non-duality
that-
of subject and object.
Yeah, and I would personally, when I got to that part of the sentence, I think I was trying to imagine blue. Okay, I think it's the mind only version of how names apply to objects. Okay, and they would say ni me. They would say that the blue and the perception of the blue are
The
are
same-
not separate.
Are not
Why?
dissimilar. Right.
They're not separate. Why?
Same seed.
Because it's the mind looking at the mind.
Yeah, good. They're not
Yeah.
distinct because the mind is looking at the mind. Yeah. So when I see this Sung Zhen Yi Mei, I take it as the mind only position. What you hold, the blue color, and the perception of the blue color, in the end, they are indistinguishable from each other. Ni Mei. Okay, cool. Be number but some la jupar. They are both numeric but some.
They are both just mere conceptions.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
mere mind. And now we see why it was important in those sentences before to use that new word for semtsamba, numeric but some, in 354.
Uh-huh.
You see what I mean? He set you up for a new name for the mind only. He called it, I don't know, conceptualizers or something. And then when he got to 356, he used it again. And he said, that's the, and we could check, but I suspect it's the wording that was used in the Mahayana Sangraha. Okay. I bet if you search Mahayana Sangraha for numeric but some, you might come up with some nice stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Nice.
What are the two things that are merely mind?
Say again? Oh,
What
merely-
exactly are the two things here that are merely that are just non-participar? That are
the blue, which is given the word blue, and the perception of the blue, you could say.
yeah, okay.
Or could you also say what is held in the holding of it?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. The blue, which Sung means the blue object, and Zin means the perception of the blue object. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Who's gonna read next, Venerable Pala?
Is Venerable Xuanzang here? Did she hear about today's class? Oh,
I'm
no.
not sure how well it was advertised.
Yeah. Okay. Venerable Jigme. Or let's see. How about Chloe?
Oh, Venerable Jigme is here.
Oh,
Here she comes. Here she
Okay,
comes,
good.
Venerable.
Hi. John Dog, Li Kekpan, Li Kipchiro, Dunla Tupe, Sun Zin Zishen, Yang Bei Mei. Is that a bay or a way?
Me.
Yang Bei Mei, Kekpar Gyurte.
Okay, good. What's Dondok, you guys?
that's overestimation.
Yeah, and I think he's referring to the belief that the word cup and the word blue, for example, or white, applied to the object which receives those names naturally. Okay, if we deny this overestimation that the name and the description of the cup apply to it naturally, okay, then we automatically, Beimei means effortlessly. Beimei means effortlessly. Then we effortlessly can deny the idea that the blue and the perception of the blue are separate substances.
Okay.
So what he's kind of saying is that if we can deny the idea that names apply to their objects naturally, we are one step closer to denying that blue is not the mind.
We're one step closer to denying that blue is not the mind.
Yeah. Or that they are separate substances. Yeah. So it's a very interesting connection. Names are not natural. Therefore, names don't apply to their objects naturally. Therefore, it's not weird to say that blue is part of the mind.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And he doesn't say they're the same thing, but he says that once you get used to thinking that names don't apply to objects naturally, you'll be able to effortlessly move on to thinking that blue and the mind which perceives the blue are not separate objects. Okay, something like that. Okay.
So the meaning
he
that
says,
not separate doesn't mean the same.
yeah, and what he's saying is that once you grow out of the second school, you can grow into the third school. Okay. Okay. It's kind of nice. It's kind of cute. Okay. All right. Who's next?
If Venerable Jigme is still there, that
She's
was a
still
really,
sitting there and she's dying to read the next part.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
She's jumping up and down, actually.
No, I'm actually struggling to stay awake.
Thanks.
Suksok ngawal dang ke pargi tenye njukpe shiam nesurang. What did I say wrong?
Tanyi.
Said Te, it's Tani.
Oh, that's weird. I thought I said Tanya. Anyway, nesurang kitseni ki drupar shenpe shensu tar yupar pe kekpa na de tar nangwei wang she ki nang su tar yupaang kek pe wang she nam nang yula tro war drup la.
Nice.
Drup la.
Thank you.
Nice. That's good. Suk sok ngod on kepa kitani jupe shiam. Nay, by the way, he gives you a definition. He gives you a positive to explain the word ne, which is helpful. Okay.
Oh yeah.
A place or a place or a basis. Okay. So he says, don't think of place here as a physical place. Think of it as a basis for names. Okay. Think of it as the object which receives a name. Okay. And the base or the place here is su. Okay. A physical object such as a cup. Okay. And it can be, we can apply names to the cup. We can call it cup, no, and we can call it white or blue or whatever. Okay. So the locus or the place that we give the name of the main thing, cup, no, or the characteristic of the cup, its color, for example, when we use those, there's a tendency, Shemba, to believe that relationship of the word cup and blue to the object is natural. It exists by definition. Okay, there's a tendency to think, and again, the more prejudiced you are, the more you believe that names apply self-existently. Okay, so you do have a tendency to think Shenba. You have a hankering or an attraction towards thinking that way. But if you use your rikspa, right?
If you use
So
your
this one
logic.
has an S on it. Yeah, but if you use logic, okay, if you use logic, you can learn to deny the truth of what appears to you. Okay, you can learn to deny that cup and white apply naturally to cup. If you learn, if you educated in Buddhism. Okay, Rikpe Kepana, you can use logic to deny that. Now, question for you, Utpala. If you use your logic to learn to deny that the word cup or the word white could apply to a cup naturally, will it change how it looks to you?
No.
No, it will not. Okay, so here he says, Wang Sheki Nanso Tar Yapang, it's still going to look that way to your eyeball, to your eye sense power. Okay, it's still going to appear as if the names for the thing and the names for its qualities applied to it self-existently. Okay, but we have kekpa that with logic, with our rational thinking, we deny the evidence of our senses. Okay, with rational thinking, we would deny the evidence of the senses. Okay, and through rational thinking, we establish drup at the end of this section, that the way that things appear to the sense consciousnesses is chulwa.
Is mistake.
Yeah, and I think you got this classic example of a person in Geshe, right? And things are still appearing to them the wrong way, but they don't believe it anymore. Okay, sometimes they can forget, but they can never truly misunderstand again. Okay, but things still look as though they're coming from their own side. Yeah. Okay.
Now, is he finally answering that question of the fellow who came along, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, who said, just how is it that our eyes are mistaken? How can eyes be mistaken?
Yeah,
is he finally answering?
I think that's part of it. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Yeah, how can it be that your sense powers are mistaken? And then that was one of the big takeaways I had from Xuanzang's first book, is that every link in the wheel of life is infected, including the sense powers. Ngapa Keche, the fifth link of the 5 doors of sense, they are infected. Yeah, the whole wheel is infected. Every one of the 12 links is infected. Yeah, and yeah, that's cool. Okay, who's gonna read the next one, Venerable Utpala?
Let's see who is here. Chloe, would you like to read? I see your name.
I'm Siri.
Oh,
Pleased to meet you.
Siri thinks I'm talking to her.
Siri is not allowed to answer questions in class, okay?
How about Venerable Geshe?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, Chloe's there? Okay, sorry. I can't see anyone but Geshe Michael and the text.
You're so lucky.
I am.
They true pa na song dan chiro he tok lei ke pa ke pei goso ke pei goso nam rang nam kang he wang she lei se sam du yu pang Council.
Kexel. Yeah. Like
great,
chocolate
thank
cake.
you.
Yeah. All right. If we can establish
That.
The way the name and the characteristics of a thing don't apply to it naturally, if we can establish that, de drupa na, then we can go on to kekpa, we can go on to deny that an object of the sense awareness, okay, such as blue, okay, is somehow being generated from the outside. Okay, somehow that blue is being generated from the outside. We can deny that. Okay, you comfortable? You okay? Yeah, chirokito means that it's occurring through some external influence and not through some change in the seeds in your foundation consciousness. Okay, so once you get closer to understanding that names don't apply to objects naturally, you're getting closer to believing that the appearance of blue itself is not happening through some external influence. Chirukitople, okay? Chirukitople kek, we deny it, okay? And then we can go from there to say that, that we can go from there to denying the last cake here, that blue, etc., are substantially separate or different from the sense consciousness. Now, I want to point out something cool here, okay? Something cool. He did not say Rang tu nang kenki wangshe, okay? That he did not say the sense power to which it is appearing. He did not say that, okay? He did not say the sense power to which the object is appearing. He said, he used the language, the sense power which is appearing as it. He did not use, which is appearing as blue. You see, he did not use the language here. He did not use the words here that would say, which would even refer to visual consciousness as something to which blue is appearing. He doesn't want to add the word to in his sentence. He objects to the word to. And it's very cool. It's very tantric, you know. He did not say Rang Lan Nanken or something like that. He said Rang Nanken. Okay, he said the sense power which is appearing as blue. He did not say the sense power to which blue is appearing. He objects to objectifying blue. It's very interesting. It's very beautiful. So this Rang Nan, he did not use a ladan. He did not use a preposition here. He did not say the consciousness to which blue is appearing. He carefully avoided the to. He said the consciousness which is appearing bluish. Okay, because that's what it is according to the mind-only school. Blue is not appearing to consciousness. Consciousness is appearing bluish to consciousness. Okay, got it? Cool. It's very cool. Okay. Therefore, what appears bluish to the awareness of blue is not substantially different from the consciousness. Okay, and we deny that. Okay. Again, he's moving. He's tracing the progression from second school to third school.
So did you just say, maybe I heard it wrong?
I did just say illegally. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And my English here is sloppy. Okay, let's skip it.
Right.
Who's next, Venerable Utpala?
Venerable Geshe. Is she there?
Thank you. I'm here.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you.
Dendra Wedro Rondok, Kitak, Ngo, Suma Shena,
Good.
Yungi Do Lene, Jesum Panam Kuntak, Nagom Partek Du Sup Le Sun Pedun, La Nam Rik Parang, Luk Laang, At Chang Telwa, Mangdum, Ne Dope Junte.
Magu.
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 Yeah.
Magupa
Junte.
Junte.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So there's a drum dog. There's an overestimation going on here, right? And we've been talking about an overestimation where you think that the word cup and the word blue as applied to the cup apply to it naturally. And that's an overestimation. Okay? That's an overestimation. And that's a ta. That's an extreme view. It's wrong. It goes too far. To say that the application of cup, the word cup and the word blue to a cup is natural is ta. It's going too far. Okay. And we have to gog that ta. We have to deny that. We have to deny that extreme opinion that names could apply to their objects naturally. Okay. If you don't understand how the mind-only school denies that extreme idea, okay, if you don't understand how the mind-only school wants to correct it back towards the middle, their middle, right? Okay. Now we, and this discussion is so long and so difficult that it's easy to forget how we got here. And we were talking about the 3 periods in the Buddha's life and the 3 periods of teaching. And the period which is most controversial in the mind-only school is which of the 3 periods in the Buddha's life?
The one that's most controversial to them would be the second turning.
Yeah, the second turning of the wheel, like Heart Sutra, Diamond Cutter Sutra, Perfection of Wisdom Sutras, where Lord Buddha said, nothing exists, okay? So Yumki-do means the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras, the Mother Sutras. It's called the Mother Sutras, okay? In those sutras, lei means in those sutras, okay? In those sutras, me. Yeah.
There's nothing.
There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing, okay? And he describes the whole second turning of the wheel with a single word. It ain't there. It ain't there. Nothing there. Okay. When the Mother Sutras, when the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras say nothing, when they say nothing, okay, their real intention is to talk about kuntaks.
To talk about mental concepts.
Yeah, or name the things, the naming process, okay? And a mind-only school person is going to interpret the second turning of the wheel as the denial that cup and blue apply to a cup naturally, okay? They're gonna say the second turning of the wheel was a correction of the second school, okay? Wow. All right, that's their version of the second turning of the wheel.
That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, nice. That's what Tegdu is saying. That's what Mahayana Sangraha is really saying, okay? We denied the second school's interpretation of the second turning of the wheel, okay? Cool. All right, we say what the Buddha meant in the second turning of the wheel when he said it's not there was a natural relationship between cup and blue and an object on your table. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sung den la nam rikpa. Okay, and to take the second turning in the way that the second school would take it, according to the Rangluk of the mind-only school, Nam Rikpa mentalists, right? According to them, to take the second turning of the wheel in the way that the second school wants to take it. Hajan Tewa.
That's I don't know. It has many excessively many problems.
Yeah, Hajan Tewa means too much. I mean, Rinpoche used to always say too much. You know, Hajan Tewa is too much, you know. It's too much. The way the second school interpret the second turn of the wheel is too much. Okay? Mangduma Gubachungde, you know, and they have to say many things like that about the second school. Okay, they gotta keep repeating stuff like that about the second school. All right, who's next? This is cool stuff. You could spend a long time cooking this in your head.
Thank you, I will.
By the way, I believe that the application of this to real life discussion should take place live. Am I right, Seiji? The 15-minute discussion applying this class to real life should go ahead and take place on the day of the class.
That's what we're planning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
because
And the peach tree.
I'll be in a certain country where I can't talk about it. Okay, so it's up on you guys. It's on you guys.
So we all have like, I don't know, 3 weeks to think about it.
Yeah, most likely I'll be sleeping. Okay. All right, who's gonna read Venerable Paula?
I would like Lindsay to please take a crack at this.
Whoa. Ever since she moved to Rimrock, she got more intelligent.
Well, of course, but although she was in Seattle, so
It's the cinnamon rolls. That's what it does.
All right. Duma.
J
Ki Nam Ka Me Pa Sum Pang
Paang
Paang Nam Ka Chi Ro Don Du Me Pa La Song So
La Gong So
Gong So She Sog Tok Dan La Kemi.
Den La Kemi Sipe
One more time.
Den La Kemi Sipe
Den La Kemi Ripe.
SR is pronounced S.
Sipe.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
got it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Sipe.
Lok Tok Gokpa Wa Shikla Ja Te Cha Tokpa Che Tokpa Mang War Jong Wei Chiro.
Nice,
Lovely. Thank
nice. See, it was a sweet roast. That's what it is. Now, suppose somebody takes the second turning of the wheel where Buddha said, meh. Nothing's there. And they want to apply it to Duma Chicken Numka. Okay.
Uncompounded space.
Yeah, and so far, as Ben Kramer pointed out at the beginning of the class, we've had a comfortable discussion that you can call space space. That's okay. The name space can apply to empty space. But now these guys, like second school people, they're moving on to empty space, which has no causes and conditions, which was never produced by causes and conditions. Dumache. Okay, let's talk about empty space, which was never produced by causes and conditions. Okay, Sumbang. Now, someone comes along and says, when Buddha said that empty space, that there was no empty space, not created by causes and conditions, there's no empty space. What they mean is empty space is not an outer object. Okay, when in the second turning of the wheel, they said nothing, and you apply that to empty space, which has no causes and conditions which produced it, okay, they say what the Buddha meant was empty space is not an outside object in the same way that blue is not an outside object. Okay, they want to take the mind-only school to an extreme. Okay, does the mind-only school deny outside objects? Yes, but outside sense objects like blue, you know, they say it's an inner thing. It's not an outside object. Okay, then somebody wants to come along and says, well, when the Buddha got to the second turn of the wheel, he was going deeper, and he wanted to deny not only is blue happening inside your mind, empty space is also happening inside your mind. There is no outer empty space, okay? If you perceive an empty space, you are looking at part of your foundation consciousness, okay? They want to interpret the second turn of the wheel that way, okay, got it?
Yeah.
Chilo Dundame, okay? Gong So. And then Kirubje describes those people as Lok Tok, which is Kemi Sipa for a Tok Dengi Kebu. Okay. And by the way, this should be Toksten, I think. Okay. Yeah, it should be Toks. Okay. So what does Toksten mean? Tokten. Kebu. Kebu means a person, right?
Have a realization or good idea.
Yeah, intelligent person, a person with discriminating person, okay? Tongdengi person, okay? That kind of idea that the Buddha was denying that empty space could be an outer object is Kema Sipe Loktok, and now the correct spelling of Tok.
Is it something that comes up that's impossible to have a wrong idea about?
That's like a super bad idea, which would never happen with an intelligent person. Okay, that's a Lok Tok means really bad idea. To believe that when the Buddha did the second turn of the wheel, what he was trying to say was empty space is the same as blue. To come up with that kind of cuckoo idea is impossible for an intelligent person. Okay, that kind of idea could never happen in an intelligent person's mind. Okay, got it? Okay, thinking that the second turning of the wheel and the Buddha said it's not there, he was talking about an outside empty space. That who could ever think of some stupid thing? You know, the Buddha was only denying outside blue. He was not denying outside space. Okay, I'm a mind-only guy, by the way, and I'm explaining the second turning of the wheel. Okay, you all right? Yeah. Did the Buddha deny an outside blue in the second turning of the wheel?
Sure.
Well, he pretty much denied
Yes.
everything, right?
Yeah.
No, but in the mind-only school, for sure, that's what he was denying. Okay, in the mind-only school, the second turning of the wheel was meant to deny an outside blue. Then somebody came up and said, well, then he must have been denying an outside empty space also. And we're like, not the same thing. I mean, who could come up with that? What a stupid idea. Okay, who's talking?
Probably mind only again.
Yeah, this Kid J is talking about this other. Yeah.
Well, I
this
don't see
second-
what the problem is myself.
Okay,
Personally.
say again.
If blue, which is just an idea, is denied as the
Yeah,
external
and-
object, then why not empty space, which is also just a concept?
I don't know. He said, "Don't worry about it. You're getting too complicated."
Well, I'm not
And
intelligent, so that's probably why.
And then Kadub J says, "Che gupa mangwachu." Look, I could go on and on about other kinds of impossibles that are impossible, but I'm not going to bother. Okay. All
Now,
right?
is he speaking about from the mind only point of view, or is he speaking about from his
Absolutely.
point of view?
That's a great. This whole section, he's got a mind only hat.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. And by the way, when he finally takes off the mind only hat and puts on the middle way hat, you're going to have a big sigh of relief, and it's going to be a lot less fun.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Who's next, Venerable Paula?
Let's see. Who online would like to? Is there anyone online? Catherine Yan, are you online? And able to read?
Yes.
Yay!
Okay. So, Dikshena Nanka O Shebe Mingi Ne Surbanki Tseni Ki Drubar Mebara Kone Nankai Yama Tonamkai Minyama Tonway Tonwa La Sopar Suso Sheche Tsula Kebar Kirde.
Lovely, thank you.
By the way, wordsmith, I'm extremely irritated that all your students learn to pronounce things so well, so fast. And it's really irritating me. So I don't know it's probably some kind of drugs in Tucson or something.
It's opposite day.
But I'm very impressed, and I got to study what the heck you're doing. Okay. Dishina.
If you do understand that.
Yeah, if you do understand this, then you will see that when we apply the name Namka to Namka,
when we apply the name space to space,
even when you call empty space, even that name doesn't apply to its object self-existently. Okay, Rangitseniki Dupa Me. Okay, so he says, here's the me again. Okay, here's the me. It's not there. What? It's not that it's not an outside object. It's that the namespace doesn't apply to space self-existently. And that's the second turning of the wheel. Okay, something like that. Okay.
Okay.
That's the real me. Okay. And because that's what Lord Buddha had in mind during the second turning of the wheel, Gongne, that's why he said things like Namka Yang Matong, Namke Ming Yang Matong. This repetition of the word Yang Yang is always like this. Look, number one, blah, 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 blah. Number two, blah, 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 blah. Okay. When you see Yang repeated like this, the person is making 2 points. Okay. First of all, blah, 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 blah. Second of all, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That when you see Yang repeated like it is here, it always means that. Okay.
So
first
when
of
you
all,
can't see space.
Yeah. First of all, no one could ever see empty space. First of all. Secondly,
you can't see the name empty space.
Good. Yeah, good. When Buddha was talking about space and the name empty space applying to space, that's the point he was making in the second turn of the wheel when he said it's not, because what he meant was, even in the case of space, the application of the name to the object was not natural. And he was not denying an external empty space. He wasn't doing the blue thing. He was doing the natural name thing.
Okay. Okay.
All right. La sopa sung so. And if you understand the points we've been making in this book so far, then you will become a kepa in chepa, those quotations from Lord Buddha.
You will become a master of the way to cut. What must be cut.
Explaining.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chepa.
Oh,
yeah.
Explain.
You'll get really good at explaining weird stuff that Lord Buddha said, such as you can't see space and you can't see the name space. And that was the point of the second turning of the wheel. He was talking about names applying to their objects naturally, even if those objects are empty space. Okay. And there's a very profound discussion in the Mother Sutras, in the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras, about seeing space. Okay, there's a very profound and beautiful discussion, and we're gonna go on a detour to that discussion. Okay,
We've got 1
And
minute.
it's
Can we do it?
No.
Oh,
If we did it, you couldn't translate it before the next class.
oh. I mean, yay.
So you're gonna go to the 3 percentage signs,
Uh-huh.
and you're gonna try to translate down to the other 3 percentage signs. The words are not difficult. The ideas are deep. Yunten Rinchen Dupa, by the way, is the shortest version of the Prajnaparamita Sutras. It's shorter than the 8,000 verses. So you got 100 verses, you got 25 verses, you got 20,000 verses, you got 8,000 verses, and then you got Rinchen Dupa, which is short. Okay, short mother wisdom, mother sutra. Okay, and there's an amazing discussion about seeing empty space, and we're gonna go there next. It's really something amazing. Okay, so struggle with it, and then we'll work on it next class.
Okay, so we'll see you in January.
Yeah. This recording is to replace the class that's in December, I think. Yeah. Okay, which I cannot give from where I'll be. All right.
Thank you so much, Geshe Michael.
Thank you. It's awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I'm
Yeah,
glad
thank you,
you
Geshe.
wanted to do this. Back to Nick.
Oh, well, thank you so much for the class. That was awesome. And thank you everybody for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and we have another one coming up in 15 minutes. So I think we told Gibson 15 minutes from now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think he's here, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, poor guy. That's great. Thank you for joining, Gibson. I know it's an unbearable hour for you. So it's up to you. I mean, however much of a break you would like to take, Geshe and Gibson.
I'd say 5 minutes for a pee and we come back.
That sounds good.
7 minutes in case it's a long one.
Sounds good. It sounds like a
7
plan.
minutes. 2:09 World Central Time.
Thank you for a beautiful class, Geshe and Upala. That was awesome. I think I could even follow for a few minutes there.